Hi, I'm Emily, aka Nova.
I am Cassie, aka Trash Gremlin, Lizard Wizard, Skelly Lizard, uh,
Grim
Grim
Cleric.
Cleric, and then just Grim. I think that's all the names I went through.
And we're going to discuss our personal experiences as Chase's Discord moderators and his employees.
Now, we may sound bitter, because we most definitely are. Despite this, however, we may feel about the situation, the events that transpired are true.
Oh boy, where to start?
I know, right? There's so much stuff. Like, I guess where we can begin, maybe the beginning, like where we came on as moderators and whatnot. So why don't you came before I did. You got to that server before I did and got
Yeah.
involved with that.
So I met Chase through the video game EVE Online. He was a spy master for a corporation, stuff that I don't expect anyone to understand what that means because it doesn't really matter. But he was supposed to teach me how to spy on other corporations, like joining other players' groups to get intel on what they have, what they're moving around, what they're doing to try to get the upper hand on them. He kind of told me one or two things, but never actually taught me, which I thought was weird because he talked about how great at being a spy he was, but I just figured, oh, well, he's busy, whatever. And he had me take an MBTI test, and I tested as an INTP. He confirmed it basically by asking me some questions and what have you. So I kind of got into it a little bit more. I'm like, maybe this has some merit. Um, Not long after, he started his YouTube channel, and I started watching his YouTube videos, and I started applying the information that he was given. Like, instead of being a hard ass in the video game and, bitching at people, I was like, oh, well, if you do this thing, I'm gonna be sad. And then people would listen to me, and I'm like, oh my god, this stuff works. So about March of 2018 already, he asked me to be a moderator of his Discord. So I joined, and this was before it was open to the public, and I basically set the whole thing up. I made almost all of the channels, set the permissions, made the roles, what have you. Um, and I was a moderator from the very beginning.
I joined a little bit later on as I didn't start to get into all of this typology stuff until around June of 2018, actually, probably more accurately, May of 2018. Um, I didn't even start with CSJ. I started with Megan Lavota and Dave's Superpowers. And I was looking up all of this stuff because I wanted to get to know my boyfriend better. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It describes who you are and what you're about. And I've always been kind of a sucker for that sort of thing. Um, and so when I stumbled across Chase's channel, I was like, wow, okay, this guy really knows his stuff. Like, he talks about it in a way that nobody else was talking about it, right? So, he gives you so much information, and I'm just like, holy shit, this must be the real deal. Because it felt right. It felt like this was the real deal due to the way he presents it and the information that he gives. And so,
Yeah,
right
it's
then
so
and there,
detailed.
yeah,
It's not like a horoscope where you read it and it's like, oh, good things are going to happen to you. Like, it's so detailed and, you
it
know,
immediately suckered me in. Like, I was basically won over as soon as I saw his first couple of videos on everything, especially my type and my boyfriend's type. About June was, I believe, when they went public with the server. I think I was one of the first of the first 30 people who joined the server, because I remember it being very small when I joined, and I was basically the most active member. Um, I wasn't even a friend of his. I just was some person who joined because I had an interest and I am naturally sociable. So I talked a lot and I got to know Nova and some of the other moderators on the team and got along really, really well with them. And eventually, I think about a month into it, I got promoted to mod.
There's no junior mod. See, back then it was just
Yeah.
moderator and admin, and
hmm
Chase.
It was actually really, really, uh, really, really strange because I felt really nervous at the time because I was kind of like excited and also nervous because like I just was some random person on the internet and like suddenly I've got this position of kind of power on his server and like I hadn't even talked to the guy really yet. So I was like, oh wow, this is intention kind of cool right off the bat. And I do remember that within like the first week or two, that was when I finally really talked to him, Chase in general. And it wasn't just a one on one thing, it was him commanding the battleship, I want to say, where he came into the mod chat. And I know there was an admin chat that's separate that he usually would talk in. I learned that later on. But he deigned to talk to us lowly mods in the mod chat that time. And that was when he decided to ban a whole bunch of people, namely Emery or other people like that. That was a whole big thing, and it came out of nowhere for me because, like, I actually was kind of friends with a lot of those people who were getting banned, and I had no idea why they were being banned and why there was suddenly like a big, huge thing about it.
I knew Chase had thought that this group of people with their other typology server who were basically recruiting most of their members from Chase's server at that time. He thought they were trying to steal his algorithm for like romantic compatibility or what have you. So he was already watching them. He had people watching their server to see what they were doing and what have you. But he didn't have a legitimate reason to ban them until they started a raid on the server. It's something that like was pretty benign. A bunch of people changed their name and like profile picture to this guy named Obi, and they just started like yelling Obi, Obi, Obi on the voice channel. But that was enough of an excuse to ban the lot of them. So he kind
No,
of
that
seized that
happened after.
opportunity.
That
Oh,
happened after.
wait.
Yeah, they had already he had already banned all of them, and they were on their other server. And then a bunch of their friends who
Oh,
disagreed with
right.
it came over and were like, "Obi, Obi, Obi," and like made a big thing. But yeah, no. The first time it just he didn't give any explanation to us, at least to me. His
Oh,
explanation
yeah,
to
it was
us
just like
was,
ban this
I,
guy.
I have evidence, but I'm not going to show you the evidence because you don't need to see it. And you just need to trust me that, he needs to be banned. And
I never saw the evidence. I don't even know if there was evidence because if there was, he probably would have shown it.
this is a common occurrence type of thing. And this is the thing that can be said for all of it. If he loves to drag people through the mud very publicly. Since we've left, he deleted his announcements channel, which had all the good stuff in it for all the way back, and made a new one that was clean and doesn't have any drama in it. But like all of this drama mostly surfaced on his Discord, even though that's not his main target audience. Quotations here.
Well, that's
However,
what we said. We were like, hey, dude, you've got 35,000 YouTube subscribers, and there's 1,000 people on your Discord server. There's probably more like 3,000 now. Maybe you need to announce things somewhere other than your Discord. Maybe the Discord's not your whole audience, but no, to him, his Discord's the whole audience. It's just the way it is.
being mods on the server was overall, it went through a transformation. Let's go from there.
It
The
was
first like
hell at
it
first.
oh god, yeah, it was terrible. I
Just
mean,
like,
like,
I want it to be
without
free speech.
god. Okay, well, let's be frank here. A lot of that had to do with, certain mods on the mod team.
It wasn't just him, it was Chase originally just said he wanted it free speech. So, under his direction, not even anyone else's, it was pretty much allow anything, and it wasn't even, he wasn't clear at all about what he wanted from his moderators. It was like, I'm not sure if it, I think it was maybe another admin, because we were a step below the admin.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with like abuse from people for a very long time, and we try to work with them, try to like work it out, and then we weren't allowed to do anything, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, just ban them. I would have banned them a long time ago, and we're like, well, fuck.
And then when we try to ban people without running it through him, basically, he would flip his crap on Nova, yelling at her and demanding why she would punish them. And like, it basically turned into, not only was it kind of a super toxic environment, but like, if we didn't go directly through him for every single little thing, he was upset with the outcome.
And he wasn't exactly available to run things by either. He was completely absent for the most part until he'd just like pop in and be like, "Why is this person banned?" Because they messaged him and started crying or something.
Oh, that was a super common occurrence. But like skipping through, I mean, it basically turned into, once a certain member of that Discord was permabanned with quotations because they were let back later. I left the server. I came back after certain members were banned permanently,
Yeah, we
and the
kept
server.
banning a person because he was just so rude to everyone, and Chase kept reversing it on us, and he was abusive, not only to other people, but to both of us.
Oh yeah, in general, not to whine and complain, but as mods, you would expect that our job as mods is to keep the peace here on a server, to make sure that people don't get out of line, bully other people, and you'd be surprised how common of occurrence that is on a typology server. People bully each other, and it boils down to, oh, well, you don't even know your own type, so therefore everything you say is invalid, like that kind of shit. And I'm sorry, but that's just not acceptable. Treat other people with respect. Like, we're still all human beings here. And that was a basic thing that was oftentimes forgotten. And they're just like, well, this is the internet. I can say whatever I want on the internet. No, in fact, you can't.
Like, they wanted free speech, and we're like, by the way, if you're gonna have this as an offshoot of your business, if you want to look professional, maybe you shouldn't have people like spurging like
Oh,
racist and sexist stuff and just
hold on.
being flat out mean.
Let us establish this too. That Discord was not just any old Discord. That Discord was not meant for anything other than to help his business. And that is still what it is for. He views it as a platform to make money off of. It is not just some old Discord on some friend's server where, yeah, you can pal around and say whatever you want. This was meant to be a business environment, period. So that's why we had to be harsh on people. It's not because,
We just felt like policing the internet. No, we were trying to like protect his interest as a business.
I mean, after we established an actual system for things where we actually finally got some rules to come in place and, established to Chase as well as other people, hey, this is a business. You can't just go into McDonald's and say, fuck you, suck my dick to the cashier. They're likely going to kick you out. Sorry if I'm offending any good folk here. I'm going to swear and you're going to deal with it. It's not that we're not fun loving. We all say some rather adult humor on our own personal servers and post things that are inappropriate for a business there too. But like, this just was different. And it was meant to be treated in a sense of respect so that it could bring some, I want to say, sense of prestige to his business, another platform of which people could talk to each other in a civil manner and discuss the different principles of typology. And that is not what this server became. We had it that way for a while. And we were pretty strict on people. I'm not going to lie. We cracked down on people pretty hard. And I know that some people, a lot of people who ended up getting banned, uh, felt that we were incredibly unfair to them. A lot of them blamed Nova, but I'll let you guys in a little secret. It was mostly me. I was mostly the one who banned most of you fuckers. Anyway,
Oh,
uh,
I spit
but
up
like,
my drink.
for some reason, Nova got the bad rap for it, and I am so sorry for that. It's not like I was trying to like pin you. They just all assumed it was you for some reason.
That's a whole nother drama thing. Oh my god.
Yes, if you're still angry and salty about that, go ahead and direct it toward me. I'll take it.
Aw,
But
but I
like,
liked it. Actually, there were several times where I went to Chase about people, and he was like, just ban them.
oh,
Ban this
oh yeah,
person,
that too.
ban that person, and eventually they got unbanned, but we still got blamed for it.
Mhm.
He
Oh,
basically blamed
especially.
us, like, oh, well, now that the harsh people are gone,
Oh,
we're
let's
mass
let's touch upon
unbanning.
that. Let's touch upon that. So skipping way ahead from when we got banned from that server too, there was a little announcement basically going, "Oh, well, we've gotten rid of some of the harsh people here," as if Chase didn't have his little paws and all of that shit in the beginning. Oh my god. Yes, we may have been the ones who executed the bans, but he was the one who encouraged it. He's the one who's basically like, ban this person, have no tolerance, ban this person. So like he's not this understanding person that he's made himself out to be.
Well, not just that, but before that, we talked about doing a mass unbanning before, but we made a list of everyone who was banned, and we talked about what they did, and everyone decided that it was best that they stay banned. But then as soon as we leave, all of a sudden, it's okay to unban them.
Oh yeah, totally. I think the only piece of people they didn't unban were like the ones who tried to commit actual crimes. Because yes, that is a thing, unfortunately. But like that
Or
was
the
it.
people who, like, talked bad about Chase, like,
Oh yes, the ones who said mean things about Chase, they're not allowed to come back. Don't you know you're not allowed to have another opinion? That's not allowed. And it certainly can't be a bad opinion about him.
yeah, so I even have a screenshot where I'm like, did you really have a guy banned for saying he thinks you're just doing this to make money? And he said, I had a guy banned for saying I'm profiting on other people's work, and all I care about is money. I'm like, okay. It just seems like that falls into banning people for disagreeing. Can we tell people that's why he was banned? They think it was because he was talking about socionics. No, it doesn't fall into banning for disagreeing. What's the disagreement over? Where is his presentation of evidence? How is this different from us banning Ocelot, Cortex, or anyone spreading misinformation? Profiting on other people's work. I mean, all of the sources he lists that he kind of takes what he wants from each one.
I mean, like, this is a very common occurrence. If you disagreed with him in, like, any manner, not only, I mean, I'm sure you guys have noticed, especially those who have made YouTube videos and or comments against him before, he'll never respond to any of those because, well, he thinks you're beneath him anyway, but, like, he doesn't entertain anybody who disagrees with him. There's no such thing as an academic discussion with him. He is the ultimate authority in everything he does, and anybody else who disagrees just doesn't know what they're talking about. You haven't done your research quite like he has. You don't understand it the same way he does. Sorry to interrupt here, but we'll have to continue next time. We've hit our
Yes,
20-minute mark.
we
So
are.
go ahead and stay tuned, and we'll put out another video next week. So
Thank you for
long.
listening.
Farewell.
If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want to hear more, hit that subscribe button. And feel free to ask any questions you have down in the comments below. At some point, we're going to do a Q&A video, so all of the questions that you may have asked us before or want to ask us about working for Chase or being his moderator or even about Chase if we know it, now's your time. We'll actually answer now that we're not trying to protect his business. Uh,
Absolutely. Anything goes.
And feel free to share this video with your typology friends on Reddit, Discord servers, wherever. Get the word
We
out.
very much look forward to seeing it pop up on his server too, by the way. That'd be great.
Careful, you might get banned. Use a burner account.
All right. So long.
Bye.